Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom in the middle of the vast Arabian Desert, there lived a poor tailor. He had a wife and a son named Aladdin. Aladdin was a happy boy, but he did not like to work. Instead, he spent all his days playing in the busy market with his pet monkey, Abu. They would run through the stalls, watch the merchants, and play games in the sun. Sadly, when Aladdin was 16 years old, his father passed away. It was a very difficult time. Aladdin saw his mother crying and realized he had to grow up. "Do not worry, mother," Aladdin said, holding her hand. "I will work in father's shop. I will earn money so we can eat." Aladdin tried his best. He opened the shop every day, but he was not a very good tailor. One day, while Aladdin was standing outside the shop, a tall man approached him. The stranger wore dark robes and had a long black beard. He looked at Aladdin with sharp eyes. "Hello, dear Aladdin," the stranger said. "I heard the sad news about your father. I am very sorry." Aladdin looked at the man with confusion. "Thank you, sir, but I have never met you before. Who are you?" The man smiled warmly, but his eyes remained cold. "I am your uncle," he lied. "I have been living in a different country for many years. That is why you do not know me. I traveled all the way here because I want to help you and your mother." Aladdin was surprised. "Oh, uncle, I think my father mentioned a brother once. Please come inside." "Listen to me, Aladdin," the magician whispered, leaning closer. "I did not come here just to say hello. I came to show you a secret place. It is a place of great magic and hidden treasure. If you come with me, you will never be poor again." Aladdin's eyes widened. "A treasure? Really?" "Yes," the magician said. "Come with me. It is a journey, but it will be worth it." Aladdin wanted to help his mother, so he agreed. He sat on the magician's camel, and they left the city, riding deep into the hot, sandy desert. They traveled for days under the hot sun. Finally, they reached a lonely place where two tall mountains stood side by side, divided by a narrow, dark valley. "Stop here," the magician commanded. "We have arrived." Aladdin hopped off the camel. "Where is the treasure, uncle? I only see sand and rocks." "Patience," the magician said. "Gather some dry sticks. We need to light a fire." Aladdin quickly gathered sticks and made a pile. The magician lit the fire. As the flames rose, the magician threw a strange, glittering powder into the fire. Suddenly, the flames turned blue and purple. The magician began to chant loud, magical words that Aladdin did not understand. The ground beneath their feet began to shake. Aladdin was terrified. "Uncle, what is happening?" Suddenly, the earth split open. A large, flat marble stone rose up from the sand. In the center of the stone was a heavy iron ring. "Do not be afraid," the magician said strictly. "Just do exactly as I say. Beneath this stone lies a treasure that will belong to you, but you must obey my rules." "I will, uncle," Aladdin said, trembling. "First," the magician said, pulling a ring off his own finger, "take this ring and put it on. It is a magic ring. It will protect you from danger." Aladdin put the ring on his finger. Then, he grabbed the iron handle on the stone and pulled. To his surprise, the heavy stone moved easily. Beneath it was a dark staircase going deep into the ground. "Go down the stairs," the magician instructed. "At the bottom, you will see a garden with trees made of gold and silver. Do not touch the walls. If you touch the walls, you will die instantly. Walk through the garden until you see an old lamp sitting on a stone. Pour out the oil and bring the lamp to me." "Is that all?" Aladdin asked. "Yes, now go." Aladdin walked down the dark stairs carefully. He held his arms close to his body so he would not touch the golden walls. When he reached the bottom, he gasped in amazement. It was a garden, but not like any garden he had ever seen. The trees had leaves made of emeralds, and the fruits were made of rubies, diamonds, and pearls. They sparkled in the dim light. Aladdin was just a boy, and the shiny things fascinated him. "These fruits are so beautiful," he whispered to himself. "I will take some for my mother." He plucked a fruit that looked like an apple, but it was a solid ruby. He picked grapes that were actually pearls. He filled his pockets with the heavy jewels. Finally, he saw the old dusty oil lamp sitting on a pedestal. He grabbed the lamp, poured out the oil, and put it in his pocket. "I have it!" he shouted. He climbed back up the stairs. The heavy jewels weighed him down, making it hard to climb. At the top, he saw his uncle reaching down with a desperate look on his face. "Give me the lamp!" the magician shouted. "Hand it to me first, uncle." "Please help me up first," Aladdin said, struggling. "The lamp is under these heavy fruits in my pocket. Pull me up, and then I will give it to you." "No!" the magician screamed. "Give me the lamp now, you silly boy." Aladdin got scared. Why was his uncle so angry? "Help me up first," Aladdin insisted. The magician flew into a rage. He realized Aladdin would not give him the lamp immediately. "You stubborn fool! If you will not give it to me, then stay there forever." The magician chanted a spell and threw more powder into the fire. The heavy marble stones slammed shut, sealing the cave entrance. The magician, furious that he failed, rode away on his camel, leaving Aladdin buried alive. It was pitch black inside the cave. "Uncle! Uncle!" Aladdin screamed, banging on the stone ceiling. Please let me out. I am sorry. But there was no answer. Aladdin cried for hours. He sat in the dark, cold, and hungry. I am going to die here, he sobbed. I should never have trusted that stranger. He clasped his hands together to pray for help. As he rubbed his hands, his fingers brushed against the magic ring the magician had given him. Suddenly, a glowing spirit appeared from the ring. It hovered in the air, lighting up the dark cave. I am the genie of the ring, the spirit said. You rubbed the ring, so I am here to help. What is your wish? Aladdin was shocked, but he was too desperate to be afraid. Please, Aladdin cried, get me out of here. I want to go home. As you wish, the ring genie said. In the blink of an eye, the cave vanished. Aladdin suddenly found himself sitting on the floor of his own kitchen. His mother was there, cooking. Aladdin, she cried, hugging him tightly. Where have you been? I searched everywhere for you. Aladdin told her the whole story. He showed her the beautiful jewel fruits he had collected. And look, he said, pulling out the old lamp. The bad man wanted this rusty old thing. I don't know why. It is very dirty, his mother said. Maybe if I clean it, we can sell it in the market for some food. She took a rag and began to rub the dirt off the lamp. Immediately, smoke poured out of the spout. The smoke grew larger and larger until it formed a massive blue giant. This genie was much bigger and more powerful than the one in the ring. I am the genie of the lamp, the giant boomed. I am the slave of whoever holds the lamp. What is your wish, master? Aladdin's mother fainted from shock. Aladdin quickly grabbed the lamp. Genie, we are hungry. Please bring us a feast. At once, the genie said. Instantly, 12 silver trays appeared on the table. They were filled with roasted meats, warm bread, fresh fruits, and delicious cakes. Aladdin woke his mother up. They ate until they were full. Mother, Aladdin said, this lamp is magic. We will never be poor again. Years passed. Aladdin and his mother lived comfortably. They sold the silver plates and the jewel fruits one by one, becoming wealthy but staying humble. One day, Aladdin was walking through the market with Abu. Suddenly, the royal trumpet sounded. Clear the road, the guards shouted. Close your shops. Go inside your houses. The princess is coming to the bathhouse. No one is allowed to look at her. Anyone who looks at the princess will be punished. People ran to hide. But Aladdin was curious. He had heard that the princess was the most beautiful woman in the world. He hid behind a stack of barrels and peeked through a small gap. The royal carriage stopped, the curtains parted, and the princess stepped out. Aladdin's heart stopped. She had long, dark hair and eyes like stars. She was more beautiful than he had imagined. I must marry her, Aladdin whispered to himself. He ran home. Mother, I have seen the princess. I love her. You must go to the Sultan and ask for her hand in marriage. Aladdin, are you crazy? His mother asked. You are the son of a tailor. The Sultan will never agree. Take the last of the magic jewel fruits, Aladdin said. Put them in a silk cloth. Present them to the Sultan as a gift. Reluctantly, his mother went to the palace. She waited in the court for a long time. Finally, the Sultan noticed her. Old woman, what do you have in that bundle? The Sultan asked. She opened the cloth. The bright gemstones sparkled so intensely that the Sultan had to shield his eyes. Your Majesty, my son Aladdin loves your daughter. He sends these jewels as a gift and asks to marry her. The Sultan was greedy. He loved the jewels. These are magnificent, but my daughter is a princess. If your son wants to marry her, he must prove his wealth. Tell him to send me 40 gold trays filled with these same gems, and 40 servants to carry them. Aladdin's mother went home sad. He asked for too much, my son. Aladdin laughed. Is that all? He rubbed the lamp. Genie, I need 40 gold trays of gems and 40 servants in fine clothes. Done, said the genie. A procession of servants walked to the palace. The Sultan was amazed. He is indeed rich, but he needs a home. Tell him he must build a splendid palace for my daughter by tomorrow morning. Aladdin rubbed the lamp again. Genie, build the most beautiful palace in the world, right across from the Sultan's window. The next morning, the Sultan looked out his window. Where there had been empty sand, a magnificent palace of marble and gold now stood. He has done it, the Sultan cried. Aladdin shall marry the princess. Aladdin and the princess were married. They loved each other very much and were very happy. Aladdin was kind to everyone in the kingdom. However, far away, the evil magician heard the news. He heard about a boy named Aladdin who had built a palace overnight. He escaped the cave, the magician snarled. He must have the lamp. That power belongs to me. The magician traveled to Aladdin's city. He waited until Aladdin went out hunting. Then, he bought a dozen shiny new copper lamps. He put them in a basket and walked up and down the street outside Aladdin's palace shouting, "New lamps for old. I will trade new shiny lamps for your old dirty ones. New lamps for old. Inside the palace, the princess heard the shouting. She laughed. Who would trade a new lamp for an old one? That merchant is silly. Then she remembered something. Wait, Aladdin has that old rusty lamp in his room. He keeps it for some reason, but it is so ugly. I will surprise him and trade it for a shiny new one. The princess did not know the secret of the lamp. She took the magic lamp to the gate and traded it with the magician. The magician grabbed the old lamp. His eyes gleamed with evil triumph. Finally, he ran to a quiet place and rubbed the lamp. The blue genie appeared. What is your wish, master? I wish for you to take Aladdin's palace and the princess inside it and move them to the farthest desert in Africa. In an instant, the palace and the princess vanished. When the sultan looked out his window, he saw only empty sand. Where is my daughter? Where is the palace? He was furious. When Aladdin returned from hunting, the sultan had him arrested. Bring my daughter back in 3 days, or I will cut off your head, the sultan yelled. Aladdin was heartbroken. He walked through the city, crying. He had lost his wife and his lamp. He did not know what to do. He sat by a river to wash his face. As he rubbed his hands together in despair, he rubbed the magic ring again. The ring genie appeared. How can I help you, master? Oh, genie, please bring my palace and my wife back here, Aladdin begged. I am sorry, the ring genie said. I am not as powerful as the lamp genie. I cannot move the palace back. The spell is too strong. Then take me to them, Aladdin commanded. Suddenly, Aladdin was in Africa, standing under the window of his own palace. He climbed up and tapped on the window. The princess opened it and hugged him, crying tears of joy. My dear Aladdin, that evil merchant is the magician. He has the lamp. He carries it tied to his belt everywhere he goes. Do not worry, Aladdin whispered. I have a plan. Tonight, invite him to dinner. Put on your most beautiful dress. Smile at him. Then, put this sleeping powder into his wine. That evening, the princess did exactly as Aladdin said. She acted very kind to the magician. You are very powerful, she said, handing him a goblet of wine. Let us toast to your victory. The magician was so happy that the princess liked him that he drank the wine in one gulp. This wine is... The magician's eyes grew heavy. He slumped forward onto the table, fast asleep. Aladdin jumped out from behind the curtains. He untied the lamp from the magician's belt. He ran to the balcony and rubbed the lamp furiously. The blue genie appeared. Master Aladdin, I am so happy to see you again. Genie, Aladdin said firmly, transport this palace and all of us back to our kingdom, and leave this evil magician here in the middle of the desert, where he can never hurt anyone again. With pleasure, master. The palace lifted into the air. When it landed, they were back home. The sultan was overjoyed to see his daughter. He hugged Aladdin and forgave him. From that day on, Aladdin and the princess lived in peace. They kept the lamp safe, but they rarely used it, for they had everything they needed: love, family, and happiness, and they lived happily ever after.